Good afternoon. Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads. So, today I have a book review of Hit Parade by Lawrence Block. This book was published in 2007 and is the third book in the John Keller series. Usually, I prepare a lot of notes and talk through different aspects and try to keep the book reviews kind of uniform. Today, I figured I'd kind of go off the cuff here a little bit. This was one of my favorite entries so far in the Hitman series. You get these stories about Keller going out on these jobs, and I find this one to be very, very good in the sense that you get a little more character development in Keller. He's still uncertain about everything and aloof and lonely, and he has Dot to talk through all of his problems, and he looks at the most mundane things in various ways. And so I really enjoy that about him. What makes this book really good in the series is you get to see further character development of Keller. You get to see his relationship with Dot improve, but you also get to see him solve these problems. He's just not a hitman that's out there taking care of, business. He also solves problems and unique problems. So what I really, really enjoyed about this book was, again, the development of the main character, John Keller. But I love how Block did twists and turns in this book. You have the story about the baseball player at the beginning, how Keller goes about handling that situation. It's just not a straightforward, he finds him in an alley and shoots him on a road series or something like that. I thought that was really unique. I really enjoyed the story about the dog, and you get to see this story while, again, this arcing story of Keller in his life continues to evolve. And so I really enjoyed the dog story. It has a really cool twist. I also liked some of the twists in the other stories. They're just not as straightforward as you would think they should be. They're very simple kind of premise. Like how many times can you talk about going out and doing these jobs, you would think, but there's always these twists that happen with a Keller story. And I think that's what's the beauty of the book as a whole. Again, I think Block does a great job furthering the character. In this particular entry, and to give you a little bit of maybe some spoilers, in this particular entry in the series, you get to see Keller really get to the point of life where he's contemplating retirement. He has his philately, his stamp collecting, so to speak. And so that's really putting a dent in his retirement savings. He's not destitute by any means, but he has kind of a number in mind that he needs for retirement. And he doesn't want to travel the world and do all these fancy, luxurious things, but he wants to be comfortable and wants to continue stamp collecting. And so you get to see him do some things that weren't normal, and he kind of breaks his own kind of moral rules, so to speak, a little bit here and there. Little self-promotion on one job. The story starts where he's in an airplane, and the next thing you know, he's propositioning a guy, and then he's figuring out how to, in a turn of events, figures out how to turn the tides on both partners of a business enterprise. And so it's just really interesting and well done. I really enjoyed this. It's such an easy read. Block's narrative is straightforward. Keller is just this really interesting character that you get to read about. And I really enjoy how Block writes these books. I mean, it's just straightforward, no punches. It's just fast-paced, and even conversationally between Keller and Dot being kind of his sounding board, and his psychiatrist and his secretary and his employer. And it's just a very dynamic relationship. And so I really enjoyed this. It was a quick read for me. As far as dislikes of this book, really, I didn't have much to dislike. You could say maybe a little more action, but when you're in one of these little kind of stories in this book, like all of a sudden it twists and like there's this action and it's just finality. And so I really enjoy that because Block can really just in a matter of 2 pages really turn the whole premise of the story around on its head. And it keeps you guessing. And so in terms of rating, I give this a 4.4 out of 5. It's very, very good, very solid. I really enjoyed this. Again, I think so far this is my favorite book. It might not be my highest rated book in the series, I believe, but it is one of my favorites in terms of enjoyment. So again, that is Hit Parade by Lawrence Block, book 3 in the John Keller series. I give this a 4.4 out of 5. Hope you're having a great Friday, and I will talk to you later. Thanks.